So, hello and welcome back to Chemically Dope by AIChE-VIT, the podcast where curiosity meets chemistry. I'm Sean, joined by my co-host Abhilash. Today, we are diving into a topic which is interesting yet not spoken much. That is entrepreneurship in chemical engineering.
Entrepreneurship is a skill that's rarely mastered and it's a journey full of ups and downs. So, today on our podcast, we are excited to have Mr. Varghese David, founder and CEO of SNP Water Infra Private Limited, with us. With 30 years of experience in water and wastewater equipment, as well as sales and marketing, he has been successfully running wastewater management venture for the past 5 years, especially since the COVID era.
With him, we also have Praval Singh, his partner and a chemical engineer with 15 years of experience in this field. He specializes in the manufacturing of screw presses, dissolved air flotation, and oil separators. We are excited to learn more about the technical aspects of entrepreneurship in chemical engineering.
And we are delighted to have both of you on Chemically Dope. So, how does it feel to join us for this conversation?
Thank you so much for inviting us for this broadcast, and we are very much delighted to be part of it. And with our experience and with our background, it's our pleasure to let you know uh, that entrepreneurship is the one which everyone aims for it, whether it's an individual or as a group. Everyone is looking forward for it. Whether you run a company or whether you head a company or whether you head two or three people as a sector head, it's all the same. First of all, I would say if one knows how to conduct himself first, then he's a best or entrepreneur. So the self discipline is the most important thing for any entrepreneur, for any sort of business which you venture into.
To start things off, we'll start from Buggy sir. Sir, so during the COVID period, you came up with the idea of starting a wastewater treatment equipment company, which has been running successfully. So, in your opinion, when is the ideal time to start a startup? When one has a stability or when there's a pressing problem that demands a solution?
In my opinion, there are certain factors which decides one to become an entrepreneur. First thing, that the confidence you gain once you serve in different organizations, technically, commercially, if you become very strong and if you have a nice network in the market, then you reach at a point where you wanted to be an entrepreneur. That's one way of thinking of it. The other way, I would recommend that you are forced to become an entrepreneur. So, uh, whichever the way, if you have the intention to become an entrepreneur, it's the right time for you to become an entrepreneur. I had made the decision at the age of 46 or 47 to get into this entrepreneurship. Whereas my partner, Mr. Praval, and the other one who sits in Faridabad, they have decided at the earliest, at the age of 29, I suppose, they have become an entrepreneur. So it's all how it drives inside you matters a lot. Sometimes when you serve in organizations, you get into comfort zones where you wanted to be part of it for a longer period without understanding the benefit of being an entrepreneurship or entrepreneur. So it's always better, the earlier you realize that you could be a better entrepreneur, the earlier you become an entrepreneur. Some people realize it late, some people realize it a bit earlier. So there is no defined age or a period or a season to become an entrepreneur. I would say for anyone who passes out engineering with a bachelor degree, I would say a maximum of 10 years experience in various industry. Preferably, he puts himself into a kind of technical marketing and some sort of project experience. In my opinion, 10 years of experience with two or three organizations are good enough to get into entrepreneurship.
That's actually nice to learn more about how much experience a chemical engineer needs And let's move on to the technical aspects. So, Praval sir, from your technical and on-ground experience, how do you see this? Like, when is the right time for an engineer, especially a chemical engineer, to take that first leap into a startup?
Uh, Thank you for giving us the opportunity to be with you. So, as a chemical engineer, I can tell you actually water field is based on the chemical and mechanical equipment based basically. So, if you are a chemical engineer, so chemically you can go for a chemical reaction, how chemical will react with the water and what will be the output. So it will be very helpful if you having the knowledge of the chemicals and other reactions, so it will help you. And if you are mechanically having the knowledge, so both mix up of both knowledge will help you to drive a drive a company or a organization. So for a water field, it's a very good experience as a chemical engineer. So I am learning with the experienced people like Varghese sir. So I think he can explain you better.
Since it's a chemical side, I would say it is inevitable in today's world that without chemical, nothing happens. Any treatment for that matter, if you pick it up, either it is water or wastewater treatment, for that matter, even medical side, pharma side, any industry or any segment of industry walk in, chemical plays a vital role. So, chemical engineers are most demanded. Chemical engineers, if they tune themselves in a proper way, they are the most are highly paid employees in any organization as of now, as far as I know. So, in water industries, treating water and the treated water to the extent of using it in various application matters a lot. And in wastewater, separating the solids and other contamination, though the equipments are made out of mechanical and electrical, the chemicals and the chemistry does a great part in doing this segregation or separation or removal of the contamination from the water. So chemical engineer is the one who actually gets into the picture and designs exactly what is required to do these operations.
Sir, looking back to what you've said before, right? You told us that there's two ways to get into entrepreneurship, right? One is where you reach to that level and then you get there. Another one is where you start off from the scratch. And then you also told that to be an entrepreneur, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you will become an entrepreneur. But when you talk about these two ways, what do you think? Like, because the second way that you said, wouldn't it be very harsh, like for a person who has just finished his BTech or somebody who's very new to the field? You said there are two ways. So, what do you have to say about that? The second way, if a student or if a person who is listening to this podcast wants to go the second way, so, what would be your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would recommend or suggest a chemical engineer to straight away get into some nice organizations where he can learn the real time job, get into the field, get into the core, do the work related to your domain, and get experience. Don't look at the salary. If you are satisfying yourself that you are learning things on daily basis while you work, then that's a great success for a beginner. So that learning, day-to-day learning, for 3 years, 4 years, or up to 10 years gives you more confidence than anything else. Some guys really wanted to have good earning in the beginning of the career. Of course, if you have that good earning and as well as the learning, it's fine. But most of the entrepreneurs whom I had seen, they have joined in smaller organizations where they could learn all the aspects of the business, not only the job which is assigned to them. So most of the mid organizations and smaller organizations provides you these kind of opportunities where you get into an organization. We try to do the technical portion of it, the commercial portion of it, the marketing of it, the business portion of it. So one would be exposed to learn these aspects if they work in organizations which is mid and smaller. In bigger organizations, what happened? The role play you have to do, where you may not be allowed to cross over from your job responsibilities to other side of it. So I would still recommend any engineer, especially the engineers, to get into organization where they have hands-on experience. They get to know about everything about the company. They will be learning it so quickly if they stay there for 5 years, 10 years. But of late, I could see these engineers. They come out, they try to work for 1 year, 2 year for one organization. They get away from that. Then where the learning comes from? Everyone is aiming for big salary or big brand, big organizations, which I don't say no. But then, if you really wanted to become an entrepreneur, you learn from another entrepreneur who is a smaller organization or MSME or a mid-sized company. That would support you more. That's what I meant for it. It's not a harsh way, but this is a way you train yourself. And if you can train yourself at the younger age, between 25 to 35, aim to become an entrepreneur at the age of 35 with some 10 years, 12 years experience. That too with a smaller organization, with a middle-sized organization. Maybe probably one or two organizations you work for, or three organizations you work for. That is enough.
Yeah, so you mean both the ways would work on, but you would prefer something that is more safer, that is more better getting experience and then going to the field of entrepreneurship,
Yeah,
correct?
practically I'm seeing it because I got into entrepreneurship at the age of 47, whereas my partner, Mr. Praval Singh, got into it at the age of 29. So we both worked in organizations earlier. 11 years ago, Mr. Pratap Singh was part of my team as a fresh engineer out from the college with 1 or 2 years of experience. But I tell you, today, if I rate myself, I am rating Praval Pratap Singh as a good entrepreneur because he has to run for at least 20, 30 years more, where I am 53 now. I started at the 47 because I was relying too much on my experience, whereas they were dare enough to get into it with less experience, of course, with the support of the seniors. But then, uh, 7 to 8 years, up to 10 years experience is good enough if you really dare enough to get into entrepreneurship.
So, Praval sir, since you work deeply within the technical side of chemical engineering, right? So, what areas or technologies that you would think would hold, the biggest startup potential today?
Yeah. As we are working in the wastewater industry, so I can tell you the evaporation process is very popular nowadays. When we are segregating the liquid from solids from the liquid, so evaporation is a very good process. In By the evaporation process, we can segregate the dissolved solid and as well as the suspended solids from the water. So lots of technologies which we are studying in the chemical engineering can apply in the field of waste and wastewater treatment. So you read there about the osmosis, reverse osmosis process. That is the very good process for utilizing in the total dissolved solid separation, and other technology like a dissolve air flotation system which we are manufacturing and help to people or industries to segregate the suspended load or COD BOD load from there. So it's totally working on the Henry law. So lots of technology which we read in the chemical engineering are useful for the today world. So you can say it's a very good opportunity if we are a chemical engineer to change the world, and we can initiate some organization or some business which can help to grow the world as well as us also.
uh, Now, like when we talk about the technical backup, like Praval sir, like how did you translate the, like you also were as an entrepreneur, like we also know you were you were also a young entrepreneur who has a vision. And like, how did you translate that vision into practical process design and operations? Like, as a chemical engineer, we all know like we have to create process visions as well as operations. But like, how did you encounter the challenges while creating them? Like we have also cost and feasibility and all stuff.
So while we serve in organizations, we get the opportunities to meet the clients and to meet the project people and to exactly find out what are all the existing technologies in the market which serves for what purpose. So what we do while we serve in an organization, or while we visit some projects, or for that matter some factories, while seeing the existing technology, we try to understand how far this can serve, maybe 50% of their satisfaction. So we come back and understand what could be the best solution for that. And we try to find out from different sources, is there any other technology or alternative technology which could give them at least 70 to 75% of their satisfaction level. So that way we had worked in the market. While we were working, like, if you are thirsty, you can have water, you can have lemon juice, you can have Coca-Cola, you can have coconut water. All this can quench your thirst. So we understand how far the customer is expecting that. Some customers may require coconut water, some customer may require only plain water. So, but then we should have all these technologies in our hand. So this can give you 50% of satisfaction, whereas this particular technology can give you 75. So if you are mastering in one area, just go with various technologies which can satisfy or which can fulfill their needs or requirements. So don't ever think of just going or telling them with only one technology or with only one solution. Basically, these solutions are tailor made. When you get into some organizations or some factories or some project sites, one designer can design it one way, the other designers can design it from the other way around. End of the day, the core point is to fulfill their requirement, give them the solution. How far the solution is satisfying the client, satisfying the environmental norms, and how far this is complying with their commercial budget, and the serviceability and ease of operation, and of course how far this their employees can get along with the machineries and technical stuff or with the chemicals. These are the things which matters. So there may not be a standardized solution for the problems. If that's so, that's a different game ball together. So this is the place where, as a chemical engineer, goes in and does a tailor-made solutions. Means you design it on your own and let the user experience it and satisfy with that. For which you may have to do some sort of trial. It might take 1 day or 2 day or sometimes 1 month also. But these kind of solutions is what going to bring you business. If something is ready made available in the market, no one would call you. Chalo, it is available in the market. I'll buy from the market. This is not engineer's job. The engineer's job is that get into it, understand the requirement. I will design it for you, sir. Whether it's available in the market or not, I will give you a solution. That solution is what going to lift you up. That is where you are going to start up. Like that, as you go into different organizations, you will get to know the different challenges, the different solutions you will design by your experience or by from your literatures, from your education background, or by just consulting with your peer group. You go with at least some two or three solutions for one challenge, one problem. That's where you grow as an entrepreneur, and you will be recognized by the client. Never ever go with the standardized solutions or answer for that.
So, sir, you talked about satisfying the client, correct? So, getting into the marketing side of this, because we actually talked about the technical expertise right now. So coming to the marketing side, how would that be? Because gaining a lot of expertise in the technical side, making sure that the idea is innovative is to be considered. But coming to the marketing side, how would that be? How would, from your side, how would you do it? Could you comment on that?
I tell you, the market is really open. In the market, if you go, you are well by those who are facing problems. No one is looking for one solution. Though that particular solution can fulfill their requirement, they still look for alternative solution. If the alternative solution is locally provided by somebody, some youngsters, then it is welcomed. That's where your success lies. This boy or this man who is living here, who had come to visit my factory, what happens is that this gives a local feeling to them that I can call this gentleman anytime, he can come and see it, or I can talk to him, or he will treat me as a special client. These kind of feelings, most of the big organizations may not be able to give it to the clients or end users. So an entrepreneur, when you start a business, you should try to do these kind of things in the beginning, and you should pocket at least some 50 100 clients one by one. You may not able to do it in a month or so. Maybe in a month, one client I'm going to satisfy by giving them solution. This continues, and second month you'll have three clients, and fifth month you'll have 15 clients, and this spreads over, and your solution will spread over, and your marketing opportunities will come via reference. You need not to spend much time. In today, our company, we don't even have a single marketing guy. We sell product through references. Of course, we have 30 years of experience, 15 years of experience. We have seen the market, but then the user of the equipment feels very happy about it. They are able to talk to Praval, they were able to talk to Varghese, they are able to talk to other partners in the company. So the solution is given to them by over phone or video call or audio call, or somebody visits them. So these kind of relationship brings us more business. They are appointing some 10, 15 marketing guys and do the business.
As per me, business is not only the opportunity. It is the basically it is the solution of a problem. So if any client having the problem, if you will solve it, this will give you the business. And as sir told you, okay, we don't have any marketing guys. When we are solving the problem as that we are technical expert, so that will create the business in market.
Hmm. That is actually surprising and very impressive indeed, because without having a marketing guy being really successful is something, the fact that you have said it is quite surprising actually.
Yeah, it is kind of self marketing. We give it to one client, they use it for some time, they give a repeat order. The same kind of industry, say for example, one paper mill in Kerala uses it for 6 months. Then some other paper mill in Tamil Nadu, if at all they have the requirement, we say that particular mill in Kerala is using it. Is that so? Then they'll talk to them. They give a good feedback. Oh, sir. Then they say, sir, why don't you supply to us as well? Okay, fine. We pick it up. This is how it spreads. So it is not really required in engineering industries. Kind of business, what we do is a referral marketing, we get it. So somebody who is using it is giving a good opinion about our equipment to the prospective buyer, and end of the day it converts as a business for us. That's also one of the way. But an young entrepreneur, you have to move around in the beginning. You have to go and make the relationship. You have to go and give solutions and keep alternative solutions. This will help you. For some years you have to do it. Then automatically you will grow up.
So like when you're talking about like the young entrepreneurs, I remember Dhirubhai Ambani, the greatest entrepreneur and a chemical engineer, and Mukesh Ambani, who's also a chemical engineer. They're running successfully right now. Like, sir, do you think you have an idol or someone to follow, like for entrepreneurships? Like you personally take that person as a guru or a mentor, so that like you can also learn from him and from his experiences on how to successfully run a venture.
Yeah, it is correct because in today's world, um, it is locally made for international market. Those days, it was made for that particular market. So globalization has played a vital role. Those days, if you need something, you try to get it from India. If you don't get it, you have to get it from outside, for which you have to pay the taxes and duties. Today, it's not the case. You can get anything and everything being here. Things are made here and sold everywhere. So what happened now? Uh, there's a lot of products, equipments, solutions available for a single problem. Those days, if it was a problem, the solution provider may be one or two, and you have no other options. Now the datas are available. Now the manufacturers anywhere in the globe can be sourced sitting at one place. So these things definitely helps. But why I say this, Ambani could make it to a larger scale, uh, not having much of experience. But today, to make it to that grand size is a big challenge because there are so many Ambanis, there are so many Adanis. They've already come up, and people of late doesn't value only Ambani and Adani, even the local entrepreneurs. That's where the entrepreneurship spirit comes into everyone's mind. Those days, certain things you have to buy from only one brand or two. There's no other option left out. Today, there are plenty, and even tailor made for your problem. Somebody would come and do this solution and go back. May not be the suitable one for others, but it may be suiting for you. So, to that extent, the world has grown up. So, starting it up at a very large scale or start up at a smaller scale and grow up at a very large scale in a rapid way may be possible, but may not be happening everywhere. May be happening in one or two places. So, so aim for solution providing path where things will follow you rather you go behind clients. Once you start providing the solutions, I tell you, you will be recognized and people will follow you. Without having much of effort, you will have a lot of clients.
So like that's actually nice to hear and something motivating for other people who are listening to this podcast. Like but like a life of an entrepreneur is always not easy. Like there's always a lot of challenges and there's also a lot of obstacles in the path. Like, sir, can I know what made you choose entrepreneurship? Like what was the mission? Like, can I know what made you choose this path? Because not everybody chooses this. Like everybody wants a life like where they can enjoy and get a salary and like move on, and that's how life has been. But can we know what made you choose this? And also, like there are a lot of chemical engineers who are in this field who are aspiring to become like you. Like, what will you convey them as well?
I'll give a small introduction before Praval answers to the question. Praval started as an entrepreneur at the age of 29, as I told you earlier, not exactly with what we are doing now. He started with a little knowledge of chemicals and a little knowledge of marketing network. But as he moved in the market, he started picking up the various other opportunities which came on his way or which he was looking for it. Started building up the base and then build up that one by one slowly. So that's how the growth came in for the company as well as for Mr. Praval. Praval will answer now.
As an engineer, I can understand the problem when I visit the market. Na? Basically, so I can understand the exact problem of the any company or any client. So, being an engineer, we can provide the proper solution. So that will give us the opportunity to expand our business, and even we can understand the new technology in the market. So it will help us.
Final question for the day, like, what is the one word or a one line that you will prefer for the next chemical generation who are gonna follow up you, and like you personally, because you are the generation who are setting up the ideals and the morals for entrepreneurship.
So simple, I tell you, nothing has been designed as such. Go with a clear mind that you can do something, that something can satisfy the end user or the one who is having the problem. The engineer's role is such that we should give solution to the problem and to the end user. So while you start, you may not have a big start. You start with something, go around. As you go around, you will see lot other things which you can add on. So starting can be at number one, but you can grow one by one and reach the place where you wanted to reach. But then you should have the ability to serve the society with the correct solution, serve your clients with the correct solution. So while you start, don't think that you should start with the hi-fi things or with hi-fi equipment, with hi-fi solutions. No, just go around, see, and it's all within your capacity, capabilities. Things will follow. Just go with a lot of courage as an entrepreneur. You get into it, for which you need to have some sort of experience. If you can have an experience of 5 years or 6 years, all based on your individual personalities, you gain that and get into the market. This is what I would like to advise the young entrepreneurs or the youngsters.
As I earlier told, business is not only the opportunity; it is the solution of any problem. So, if you study the market or if you go with the client or any customer, so if he having some certain of the problem, so if you properly study that the problem and you can make the proper solution for him, it will help you to grow the business. So this is the basic fundamental for any businessman. If you solve the problem, so it will give you the opportunity to be in the market, to grow in the market. So I just want to suggest you go with the go with any problem and study it properly and come with a proper solution. So it will give you the good result.
Okay. Um, Thank you so much. Like both of you, you guys have given an insight for whoever has been listening. And with that, we have gained a deeper understanding how entrepreneurship works in chemical engineering, like from turning ideas into viable businesses or to navigating challenges and driving innovations in the industry. And on behalf of us, AIChE-VIT, we sincerely thank our guests.
Listeners, if you found this episode interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Chemically Dope for more engaging conversations at the intersection of chemistry, engineering, and entrepreneurship. Thank you.